Jinping moves as quickly as he can through the desolate CCP headquarters corridor. He's still weak from days of living in hiding, but is now driven by adrenaline. All the offices and corridors are deserted. Meeting notes and equipment lie strewn over the floors. Desks are appended. Glass partition doors are smashed. In a couple of places, splashes of dried blood arc up the walls. He reaches the reception. On one wall is a row of public phones. He lifts a receiver and the line is dead. In the corner of the reception is a smashed soft drinks machine with a few cans collected at the base. Jinping grabs one, rips off the ring pull and downs it in one go. Then he dashes for the main door. Jinping exits and walks out in the cold night. "Hello," Jinping says. Aside from a quiet rush of wind, there is silence. No traffic, no engines, no movement, not even a bird song. There he is, there he is. Suddenly, the eerie calm of the building is disturbed by the mayhem of approaching men, armed to the teeth. So this is it, she wonders. Hi and welcome. This is TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host, Atul Mishra. In this video, I will tell you how ETIM, China and Jinping's number one enemy, has regrouped and they are coming for China. China's number one enemy, the Eastern Turkestan Islamic Movement, also called the ETIM, is back. And with the US withdrawal, China's problems are only going to compound further. Interestingly, things have slipped out of China's hands all of a sudden and ETIM looks more powerful than before. The United Nations Security Council describes the ETIM as an organization which has used violence to further its aim of setting up an independent so-called East Turkestan within China. Since its establishment, ETIM has maintained close ties with the Taliban, Al-Qaeda and the Islamic Movement of Uzbekistan. The UNSC adds it was founded by Hassan Masoom from Xinjiang, China, who was killed by Pakistani troops in October 2003. ETIM is currently led by Abdul Haq, who was also a member of Al-Qaeda's Shura Council as of 2005. So there are two key takeaways here. The ETIM is a Xinjiang-focused organization that wants to carve out the far western Chinese province and establish an independent East Turkestan. ETIM is based in Afghanistan and maintains close ties with Taliban. China has been worried about the ETIM ever since the US troops withdrawal because it feels that the troops pullout creates a lot of vacuum and ungoverned spaces in Afghanistan, which could allow ETIM to prosper all over again. A latest Newsweek report now corroborates China's fears. The report comprised of the first remarks by the ETIM, a secretive militant group, since it was removed from a US list of terrorist organizations. Newsweek quoted the ETIM spokesperson as saying, "The United States is a strong country. It has its own strategy, and we see the withdrawal of the American government today from this war in Afghanistan, which is incurring huge economic losses, as a means of confronting China, who are the enemy of all humanity and religions on the face of the earth." The evidently angry ETIM spokesperson slammed China. He said East Turkestan is the land of the Uyghurs. The spokesperson added, "After the Chinese government occupied our homeland by force, they forced us to leave our homeland because of their oppression against us. The whole world knows that East Turkestan has always been the land of the Uyghurs." Interestingly, Newsweek also quoted the ETIM spokesperson as saying, "We believe that the opposition of the United States to China will not only benefit the Turkestan Islamic Party and the people of Turkestan, but also the mankind." The fact that the ETIM hates China and wants to free Xinjiang from the clutches of the CCP is well known. However, this is the first time that the Afghanistan-based militant group is actually suggesting that the opposition of the United States to China would aid the Turkestan Islamic Party, which is an alternate reference to the ETIM. In fact, what the ETIM spokesperson said isn't really a matter of propaganda. Last year, the US had removed the designation of the ETIM as a terror group. The State Department had denied any evidence of the very existence of the ETIM. Moreover, the US is believed to have targeted the ETIM with airstrikes only till 2018, which is roughly the same time when the Western world started to slam Chinese human rights violations against Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang. The US went easy on ETIM and later delisted it as US-China ties deteriorated. But it isn't as if the US doesn't know that ETIM exists or that it has plans to sever Xinjiang from China. When the American media is taking remarks from an ETIM spokesperson, we can safely assume that even the American intelligence community isn't unaware of their existence. And then the US has an entire history of inducing the creation of militants to target its adversaries. This is what it did in countries like Libya and Syria. It won't be too remote a possibility if the US actually does nothing about the ETIM or even supports it on a policy basis to target Xinjiang. US organizations like the National Endowment for Democracy have also been promoting activism against Chinese human rights violations in Xinjiang province and have already started referring to the region as East Turkestan. There is at least an ideological semblance in the US policy and ETIM philosophy on the core issue of Xinjiang liberation movement. Beijing had struck a deal with the Taliban. China would pay money to the Taliban and the Taliban would curb the ETIM in return. The Taliban has been milking China, but the way the ETIM is showing signs of resurgence suggests that either the Taliban has failed to keep its part of the deal or it has deliberately omitted to do so. In any case, it is China which is suddenly emerging as the biggest loser in Afghanistan, with a powerful and vigorous ETIM knocking on its doors.